Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine avatar varisthaya ramakrishnaya te namaha. We are privileged to have Swami Aparananda here with us. He is one of the senior monks of our order and a venerable one too. He was initiated by Swami Shankarananda, the 7th president of the order, in 1957.
57.
57, yeah. Then he was initiated, ordained a monk in 1966. He came to the US as an assistant Swami of the Vedanta Society of Southern California in 1978. But before that, he was in Advaita Ashrama in Calcutta. He was in Cherrapunji. That's a time when
Mauritius.
Yes, he and Swami Bhaskarananda, they were acquainted. So it's a very long association. One of the reasons why he has a great affinity for the Seattle Center. He was also in New Delhi. And
7 years.
Yeah, 7 years. And then after that, he was in Mauritius. So he came to the Vedanta.
Hollywood.
He came to Hollywood in 1978.
78.
Yes.
December.
Yeah, December. Okay. And in 1985, he became the head of Vedanta Society of Berkeley. And he was its head till 2014.
25 years.
Yes, 25 years. He also, in the interim period, in 2015, he was the head of the Vedanta Society of Portland.
For 10 months.
10 months, okay, till the present Swami came in. He is now officially retired from administrative duties, but he lives in the Bay Area. He also conducts online classes. He also writes many books. And as you can see, he travels a lot. So Swami is in his 93 years. 93 years?
Yeah, 1 year more plus.
94 years old. Okay. And so he is very active. He is alert, as you can see. And so he's going to speak on the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita, as we know, is the very essence of the Vedas and the Upanishads. There has never been a scripture like this and never will be. So he's going to speak on some verses of the Bhagavad Gita. Please, Swami, go ahead.
Okay. So good morning to all of you. And Swami has told me many things about you, but one thing you should know, we Swamis don't want to give our introduction because we believe in divine reality. So introductions have no meaning. Introduction will not help me to enlighten me. I have to work myself and to enlighten myself. So anyhow, but nowadays it is, it is necessary that people should know who is the Swami and all these things. It is good. And then nowadays, because of other reason, that if I come here to USA from India, there is immigration. Who are you? When I came 1978, there is no much paperwork. Now about 25, 30 papers we have to fill up. And they will see every word, every sentence. Any doubt, cancel. So introduction is necessary today. Okay. I come to visit Swami because I love him. And then we Swamis love to have what is called association with another Swami. Very helpful to us and all things. And then this organization, this Ramakrishna Vivekananda organization, is a growing one. It is a power. And no one can stop it. Because Mahamaya herself is involved in the form of Holy Mother Sharada Devi. Anyhow. But then idea is that in this age where people's minds are colored by various ideas and thoughts, especially science, we also are very much influenced by science. So, and then how to relate a subject like spiritual, divine reality, divine consciousness, all these things, it's very difficult. Bhagavad Gita is a wonderful literature of the world. Swami Vivekananda says also that in modern age, you cannot find another religious spiritual literature like Bhagavad Gita. It covers a wide subject. So anyhow, so I agreed that I shall come and talk on this subject. Yeah, that's all. So I should start with my prayer. Huh? Om Sahanayavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahabhijam Karavavohi Tejasvina Bodhitamastuma Vidyashabhohi. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. May the Divine Self protect the preceptor and the student of truth. May the Lord nourish our souls with the nectar of eternal truth. May the Supreme Being grant us spiritual strength. May our studies be fruitful in realizing the Eternal One. May love and harmony dwell amongst us. May peace reside there in all and flow over the whole universe. And may they always exist in all, peace and real peace alone. Om, peace, peace, peace to all living beings. So, as Swami told, and you also know this wonderful religious literature, Bhagavad Gita, undoubtedly, I tell you, is a wonderful book. You may belong to any religious denomination. It doesn't mean. But you will get something to uplift your spirit, I guarantee you. Swami Nikhilananda ji, he was an initiate disciple of Holy Mother and received wonderful blessing from the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna like Brahmananda Maharaj, Swami Shivananda Maharaj, Swami Premananda Maharaj and all these things, And lifelong he lived in New York Center. So he worked on our Indian Vedic literature. So he did research work on the subject. and translated it very nicely and all these things. So I thought that I like that book very much. When I was in Berkeley, every year, once a week, years after years, I used to read Bhagavad Gita to a small group, not many. So 2 or 3 times I finished. But I must admit to you, even today I find I have not been able to enter into the book so much. It is so beautiful, and you get the material to think and to work on your life. And you will find one day the Lord will be very gracious to you to enlighten you, whatever you want. So I begin in this way. The Gita is a yoga shastra, a scripture on yoga. The word yoga denotes the union of union of individual soul with universal soul, and also the means to such union. Hence, the yoga is the goal of all the religion and the basis of all religious practices. It implies much more than religion in the usual sense. Instead of laying down creeds and doctrines for acceptance by religious aspirants, it emphasizes the psychological approach to self-unfoldment. Thus, yoga takes into consideration the different types of human minds, the active, the philosophical, the emotional, and the psychic, and expound for them, respectively, the path of work, karma yoga, the path of knowledge, jnana yoga, the path of love of devotion, bhakti yoga, and the path of concentration and self-control, raja yoga. Each of these paths opens upon the infinite horizon of truth and affect the union of man with God. The Gita describes them all. You can say the introductions of the subject a little. Okay. Next, the basic ideas about the truths of life. Various questions will come in our mind. And we find also today, not necessarily they are religious people, because they are facing the realities of life because of science. Many questions arise, and they do not know the solutions of those questions. Bhagavad Gita comes forward to help you. While looking for all adequate meaning of life, many questions would arise within the mind of an inquirer. What is the meaning of duty? Its place is in molding the spiritual life and the meaning of action and actionlessness. From the relative and the absolute standpoint, all these inquiries play an important role in life, and they must be resolved. We must find an answer to all the questions. Because we remember when I was a young person, I just studied the, what is called the science, BSc, the ordinary course. And then the same thing happened to me. that I was facing a real, you can say, problem with my life. Which way I should direct myself? I was not what is called born of a very rich, wealthy family. No, just ordinary person, working very hard to build up my own personality. That's all. And very hard life, I must say, still. Then I began to study Vivekananda, especially his own life. In those days, how Vivekananda used to go to visit many places of India, met all the distinguished persons of the world, of the India, native kings. In those days, because of British rule, the native kings were very powerful. And a monk like Vivekananda would be treated just like an ordinary person. But he would go and talk to the native king and challenge them in various ways. And the members of the cabinet of the native king would be amazed how a monk would dare to talk in this way to our king. So, I mean, this kind of behavior or approach to life, I must say, influenced me very much. I say, yes, there is a life, really life is there. So in course of time, through the grace of the Divine Mother, I found the organization, and then I was accepted by it. So all these inquiries play an important role in life, and they must be resolved. You will also find, consciously and unconsciously, because all of you are educated in modern time. So whether you wanted to have the kind of question, no, unconsciously it will coming. And you have to find it out a way. Next question, of course, will be, what is the highest good in life? Does it mean only living in the world or something else? Whatever one can find in this cosmos, whatever one can find in this cosmos, beginning from physical life and physical world, then taking one more step forward, how to improve the mental world, and last of all, how to find out the divine reality, the universal soul, internal life, and immortal nature of our inmost souls. So everything has been discussed and described in the Bhagavad Gita. One who desired to grasp the spirit of religious aspiration of Vedic culture can discover it in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord's song. It had an important message to the people whose religious ideal tended to be contemplative and mystical, who had the genius to reveal to the world the ultimate goal for thought and reasoning facility, and reverence and devotional quality, sometimes called the Absolute, the one without a second, the infinite bliss, the state of superconsciousness. Though the true nature of the inmost soul of every living being is infinite bliss, divine consciousness, but people lack the experience of the immortal nature of oneself, and instead go through critical stages of transition such as agnosticism, naturalism, materialism, and so on. Many branches of physical science, psychology, sociology, and humanities are placing at our disposal many new facts these days. They need collation and synthesis in order to be useful to the life of individual and society. There is also one important factor that is consciously and unconsciously influencing human life all the time, must be considered and taken care of. The antagonism and primeval antithesis between this world and the other world, between secular duties and spiritual values. Human beings are confused. As I tell you about my own life, that I had to face it and find out the solution. The big question one before human being in these days is whether religious ideals and spiritual virtues are essential in building up communities and stable societies where people could live together without facing any antagonism between themselves. Those who following a materialistic view of life only would right away discard any idea related to religious ideals and spiritual values and virtues. They forget that the very basis of expression of life, such as sensation, inspiration, feelings, good and bad, life energy, mental world and intelligence, is the expression of their inherent divine consciousness, the most blessed state of human life. And everyone must know that without the light of the shining one, no perception is possible. Today, we find that lots of discussion and then research work going on about consciousness. About consciousness. The ancient wise one clearly say they discovered the truth in life. Without the light of the shining one, the inmost spirit, no perception is possible. That awareness, I'm a conscious being, I'm a human being, all this awareness, all this knowledge cannot come. So the light is coming from there. People will ask, what is the proof? Proof it yourself. Huh? You build up your own personality. Who has asked not to do? Vivekananda in this age was the most modern, antagonistic young man of Calcutta at that time. Calcutta was the capital of India at that time. So he came in contact with different culture of the world. Different people would come to Calcutta at that time and learn many things, science also and all these things. But then he thought, this is not the way only to live in this world. There must be another, what is called that most blessings state of life, the shining one. So he built up his personality in that way. He was telling that at night when he'd go to bed, two thoughts would come in his mind. One, he had the power, capability, and knowledge to become a great person in the world. He would become a great leader. But next moment he was that depending on God, he would be a wandering monk. Where he would be going, he doesn't know. Lord knows only. Then he would say the second thought would influence him. Every night he had a problem, unless he discovered his guru, the spiritual teacher, Sri Ramakrishna. Bhagavad Gita is known. Okay, so as I tell them, that without the light of the shining one, no perception is possible. That is why today we find many intelligent, intellectual persons who want to know the source of consciousness, what is the true nature of the consciousness, is puzzled. Because they don't, however I don't know, they don't, accept the existence of another divine spirit within us at the background. So that is why we, in the Upanishad, we find that usually the three states of consciousness, waking state, dream state, and dreamless state, no one can deny. And psychologists today have discovered many truths in the unconscious region of the mind. But up to that, beyond that, they cannot go because they never develop their intuitive power. I mean, you can say religious power or spiritual power. Their intuition, religious, spiritual intuition, they did not develop that. So there is a problem. Anyway. So that is why all confusion we find. That which way I must guide my life. Whether to get a little pleasure, feeling of pleasure, or to search for the infinite one. A big question. So that without the light of the shining one, no perception is possible. This is the religious people will conclude. Discipline, faith, trust, and conviction have to be developed to train and strengthen the mind. Today we find that everyone needs to strengthen the power of their mind so that their mind should not be influenced by any idea that is coming to the mind. All the thoughts or influences that are coming from the outside are not what is called good to us. They lead our life in a different way. So spiritually evolved souls are always expressing the revealed truths of the Upanishad, mean God consciousness. This is the proper and the right way to come to realize the truth that would unburden us and ultimately free us. So Bhagavad Gita is known as the divine commentary of the Vedas, covers a wide field of subject and knowledge of God consciousness in various aspects. The speaker of the Bhagavad Gita is known as a divine incarnation, mean an enlightened soul, you can say, who revealed the cosmic life in such a way that a human being step by step, bit by bit, acquires knowledge of the divine reality. Now, I like to tell you some of the verses, teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. On this subject, many people can raise many issues. There is no doubt. But the teachings are wonderful, I tell you. It covers a various subject. So I have selected a few, chapter 4, verse, yeah, yeah, verse 34. Chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 34. A spiritual seeker must approach a spiritual teacher to learn the nature of truth by prostration, by inquiry, and by service. The wise who have seen the truth will teach the spiritual aspirant that knowledge. The practice of humility and reverence play an important role in religious life. The disciple should ask the teacher about bondage and liberation, about ignorance and knowledge. Being satisfied by the conduct of the disciple, the teacher would be pleased to give spiritual instruction to be followed by the disciple. Mere theoretical knowledge, however perfect, does not qualify one to be a spiritual teacher. A spiritual teacher must realize the nature of truth to be authentic and teach the benefit of the sincere seekers. Next, chapter 4, verse 39. He who is full of faith in the teaching of the Guru, means spiritual teacher, and has intense devotion to the means and methods of obtaining knowledge, and has subdued his or her senses, obtained knowledge. Having obtained knowledge, he soon obtains the supreme peace. Mere prostration, inquiry, and the rendering of personal service may be performed even by an insincere person. But insincerity is impossible for a seeker who has practiced the inner discipline, that of controlling the forces of senses and the mind, described in the verses. An aspirant must practice yoga and perform respective duties prior to the attainment of knowledge. This preparatory process is indeed very crucial in bringing the required strength and refinement to his or her mind. Then comes the chapter 10. Chapter 10 is very important, beginning from the verse 7 to 11. It's coming. I must get the correct pace. It is beautiful. You will enjoy, I must tell you. Yeah, two. I got it. Chapter 10, verse 7. There is no limit to the knowledge of the Lord, as the Lord is infinite. The omniscience of the Lord has also his ability to achieve mighty things. The power and wisdom of the rishis is only a fraction of the Lord's infinite power and wisdom. That is why a devotee must be devoted to the Lord with this understanding that the Lord can accomplish anything and everything in the lives of his devotees, anytime. Because of that, a devotee must have unshakable devotion to the Lord. A true devotee of the Lord remains unshaken in his love of God in spite of the occasional doubts which are inevitable in spiritual life. So, doubting minds and doubts about the existence of the higher truth, higher divine reality must come to anyone and everyone. It must come. In most cases, because of other responsibility and duties of life, most people we see, if some doubts come, some inner, problems come, they give up the practice of spiritual life and try to do something else in life. It is accepted. But then, in order to continue our spiritual life, we must learn from the enlightened soul. What they say? The doubts will come. Let doubt come. What is that? While we go to accomplish our duties in a perfect way, we cannot do all the time. We face all the problems and the problems in life also. So if we accept those serious type of problems in life, in other area of life, why not we accept the same challenge that minds are disturbing, there is some doubts about the spiritual life, about the future and all these things. Let us continue with it. So, one enlightened soul will tell us, no, you have to continue. Then he will be the winning one. He will be the winning one. And we see in lottery and all these things, millions of people will buy the ticket, but one will get it. So similarly, that they say something else. That if you seek the God, spend a little time in meditation and chanting the divine name, reading some good book, memorizing the good verses, and doing some prayer every day, continue 5 minutes, 10 minutes in a fixed time and all these things. God will reward. In the world, I may be failure. Many are many people are like me have become failure in life. It's okay. But in spiritual life, the Lord said in the Bhagavad Gita, no failure. Lord will do something for you. There is a great assurance you find in the Bhagavad Gita, not only one, in different verses. The Lord is telling. In the 18th chapter, the Lord is telling Arjuna, look Arjuna, I've told you so many different aspects of truths in life. But towards the end, I tell you, you give up everything. Follow me. Follow me means I am an incarnation of God standing before you. So look at me, what I am doing. In what way I am performing my duties in life. In what way I am behaving and all these things. So follow my teachings. Not that I have to follow Sri Krishna. Thousands of people are worshipping Sri Krishna, nothing happened. But the teachings are sure. Teachings means it is a transformation of inner life. It will have effect, teaching. But anyhow, so this is the great message that we find in the Bhagavad Gita. A true devotee of the Lord remains unshaken in the love of God in spite of the occasional doubt which are inevitable in spiritual life. Such unshakable devotion leads ultimately to the knowledge of the Absolute. Then, the next verse, chapter 10, verse 8, there is a time. The Supreme Brahman manifests in the relative world as Lord Krishna is the source and ultimate cause of the whole universe. We say that God has created this universe and all these things. So similar teaching we find in the Bhagavad Gita also. The moral and physical laws controlling and sustaining the activities in the universe are all manifestations of the Lord's glory and power. He is the inner regulator of all beings. Hence, He alone controls the universe in all the changes, including creation and dissolution, and in action, results and experience. In short, the Lord is the power behind the evolution of the cosmos. Today, this is a great problem we face. Science has come. Science bringing you can say, some aspect of truth, you can say. There is no doubt about it. But science cannot give us the information about our true nature, the existence of our immortal nature, the existence of the experience of infinite bliss. It cannot give us. I remember that when I was in Berkeley, one professor used to come. He was a good man. So one day I was talking to him that in the morning the sun rises in the east. Immediately says no. The sun does not rise. I did not tell something more over his face at that time. Because after all, he was a very well-established professor. The truth is, when he says the sun does not rise in the east, it is the physical explanation. We, the spiritual people, believe and know that besides the physical existence of the reality, behind it, intelligence exists. We call it cosmic intelligence. Today, many people accept it. Every intelligence of a living person, for example, is a part of the cosmic intelligence. Because of that, we'll have to know so many things. We are not satisfied with a little knowledge in our life. We want to expand our life in various ways. That is what we find in this world also. So therefore, when we say that the sun does not rise, we say sun rises in the east. Is correct. Why? Because Tantra means the scripture of action, actual action. Just like you go to the laboratory and do your experiment, you get the result. So in Tantra, there are methods, ways that you carry out those actions. We call it rituals. There are various types of rituals. If you can accomplish it the right way, you will get the result immediately. It is done. So what is that? We know 48 hours, minutes before the actual sunrise, that period is very holy and sacred to the meditator. Because Prakriti, the nature, it is called joining, that from one level of existence, it is entering to another level. Prakriti means calmness. It is found that in that period, many people, literary people, talented people, have gained higher type of knowledge of the subject. Meditator gets is called total absorption in the object of meditation. We read very often in the Patanjali Yoga system. What is yoga? Yoga is chitta vritti nirodha. All the thoughts of the mind are restrained totally, are controlled totally. How? By making your mind one-pointedness, and through the practice, a time will come in your life when it will be totally absorbed. Because Nirodha. Swami Vivekananda was a great meditator. Nobody taught him. He was a born meditator. When a young age, he would love to meditate. When he was left alone in the house and all these things, he would just sit calm and quiet. And it was found that his meditation would be very deep. So one instant was told by his relatives that there is a room. It will come in quite undisturbed room. Sometimes the Vivekananda Naren would invite one or two of his friends and say, let us go there and meditate. Then they come. So that you close your eyes and meditate. He did it, and suddenly the other boy noticed one snake was entering. One snake was entering. So he raised the alarming situation to the senior monk members. They all came there and found that really one snake was slowly passing. The other boy somehow or other ran away. But Vivekananda was no outward knowledge. Later on, he disclosed from time to time about his meditative state, which he would experience in the particular time. It is called that Nirodha. Not only one object of meditation, various ways. Suppose on a wall, he puts with a charcoal a mark, a round mark, a big zero, O. And then he would look and try to meditate, concentrate his mind on that object. And he would tell that what we read or study in the yoga system, yoga chitta vritti nirodha, total absorption of the mind. His mind would be totally absorbed. And what was his experience? The visible, what is called knowledge of the object. We call it our normal experience, our normal knowledge of our waking state, for example, would disappear. Just like in dream state, it will disappear. then the mind would become a homogeneous substance. The one, only one. And what is that he could not describe, but he could experience. It is very, it's called, in yoga system it is called that a state of experiencing the fine state of the mental world. And it would bring immense peace and feeling of joyousness. Feeling of joyousness. So when the professor was telling me the sun does not rise in the east, he is correct. But I am correct also because at that very moment, many things happen in the cosmos. So in cosmic life, so many, what is called the phenomena are going on. And a human being has the capacity, has the ability to learn everything, to control the entire cosmos. So Vivekananda said that he would be sitting in that state, and when the meditation would be broken, he would like to enjoy his intense feeling. That the peaceful state is called. So the idea is that practice of meditation, practice of religious ideal would bring some kind of result. It is internal, related to our soul. Our soul, it is called. Which one you will do, it is up to you. It is your choice, it is called. Anyhow, let me finish it. Chapter 10, verse 9. With their thought fixed on the Lord, with their lives absorbed in the Lord, and enlightening one another about the Lord, and always conversing about the Lord, these devotees derive satisfaction and delight. Devotees love God by means of reason and also sacred and spiritual passages. The verse 10 and 11 very important because we are telling God is all love, God who revealed to me and all these things. In this chapter, the divine teacher is revealing that truth. It's called Buddhi Yoga. And it's called a pure understanding of the truth. It's called. On those who are ever devoted to the Lord and worship the Lord with love, the Lord bestows the yoga of understanding by which they come unto Him. It's called Buddhi Yoga. This yoga of understanding or Buddhi Yoga always refers to a superior and exalted condition of the mind, which I was explaining to you, that Vivekananda used to experience that state through deep meditation. So therefore the idea is that anyone who will be taking it interest to spend a little time every day, to read something, to worship or to chant the Lord's name and regularly, not to change it. You must remember. Because today, because of all this, what is called propaganda, some will say, I go there and I see light. It's okay. Other will go. I meditate with sitting in the group and all these things and chant something. I become exalted in my pursuit of the truth there. It's okay. Like. So they're changing it. Our teachers say, you take interest in the spiritual life, but you follow a method not to change it by yourself. You all the time. And what is the explanation? Sri Ramakrishna says that God is absolute, one without a second, all powerful, all blissful. He is okay. That God manifests himself in various ways. Not only in one way, various ways. So when Christ is born, and then he taught people the way, a method. And in course of time, we call it Christianity. Similarly, in many groups, they have a teacher, enlightened soul, who introduce special method to approach the truth and all these things. So Sri Ramakrishna says that you follow your method, but don't criticize the other method, knowing that God is absolute. God is all powerful. So the same God would appear to the other people the way they are praying, the way they want to know the nature of God, the way they want to relate their own soul to the universal soul, that way. So then you can follow knowing that your method, your ideal, your chosen ideal represent the same truth which the other people also is meditating in another form for them. Otherwise, this internal problem, spiritual life is full of problems. Doubt, beliefs, and influences, and all these things. In the family, sometimes some calamity will happen. Immediately will say, what is your God? I was in Berkeley, university, young student. So one mother one day came and started abusing me. What type of your religion, all these things? My son is spoiled and all these things. I am a spiritual person. I always believe in your religion, all this way. Now, am I to be blamed? So this is the the way they will go. So I hear nowhere in any scripture clearly tell the way the Lord unfolds his knowledge to the heart or intelligent to a person. The I unfolds. It's called buddhi yoga, a condition. I create a condition within the heart, within the space of the intelligence in such a way, the person will realize it. What is called the basic needs are there to prepare our spiritual nature. One is, in this age, it is very essential to make our mind very strong. Very strong, restraining mind. Even the psychologists also will give the advice today, the modern psychology also, that you have to learn how to restrain your feelings, for example. But the best way is to develop your spiritual nature. Your spiritual nature is a higher one. Now, what we learn from the scripture, say for example, our physical body, we have to make it strong. Then behind it, our senses are there. So that is called if we want to acquire knowledge and all these things, our senses must be very respective. It's called intuitive. Intuition should come. So that whatever the professor or the teacher is giving the lesson on the particular subject, I can accept it, I can perceive it clearly and all these things. A kind of intuitive power, you can say it's called. It doesn't belong to the physical body. It belongs to the mental, intelligent, to the mind also. Now, today, here the problems come. The mind is full of different kind of thoughts and ideas, disturbing thoughts. Various forms that thoughts come, influences coming and all these things. Who can control? Intelligent. Knowledge. That is why researchers who have discovered some truth of the nature, they could, direct the entire force of the intelligent power. In knowledge, knowledge controls the mind. So knowledge has a power, has a speciality is there, it is called. So it is not, so God is the highest form of knowledge. You can say knowledge means understanding, you can say, put in this way. Cosmic intelligence is called it. So then what is called this restlessness of the mind would be automatically controlled by higher soul. Even also, if you could develop, you can test yourself. If you develop a particular thought, you develop, then you will find that when you are concentrating your mind on that particular thought, all other thoughts have subsided. All thoughts subsided. So, okay, this is a time. So I've told you something, and it is a big subject. I told you Bhagavad Gita. Everything you will find in life in the Bhagavad Gita. So, and then it will encourage us to pursue our religious or spiritual life. So, thank you very much. Okay. I'm 94, but don't mind. If I say you something correct or wrong.
No, you're wonderful. Yeah. Everybody was so engaged and hanging on to everything you said. Before we can let Swami go, make a few announcements. Next Sunday is Mother's Luncheon, and it's going to be held at Tapovan Center. So Swami Chetanananda, who is the minister in charge of the Vedanta Society of St. Louis, and is the author of many books. Amazing. He has done something which I don't see any other Swami has done in the US. He's got a vast number of books to his credit. He's going to speak on dynamic meditation on Holy Mother. And that Sunday will also include music, and he'll have mother's children or Sunday school kids enacting a play called From Tech to Thakur. That is Sri Ramakrishna. It's a potluck, and space is limited. Please register. Registration is free. And especially the parents of the children who are participating should also register. Like I said, space is limited. This Sunday, we've had a Swami here speaking. In the evening, we have Ram Nam at 7, which will be led by Raka. And every evening, we have Aarti and meditation. On Wednesday, Ramakrishna's devotional teachings by Swami Satyamayananda. Friday, self-knowledge, Atma Bodh, also here at 7 p.m. And Saturday, we have a special retreat, cleanup, Karma Yoga Day, in prep for the Sundays, you can say, program. So please, those who can come along, come. And then after next Sunday, our summer recess begins. Just for the Swami does not like to take or doesn't take questions in person, so he has asked me to do the needful. But he will meet all of us here. So, Maharaj, you'll give the closing chant?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Om Niranjanam Nityamantarupam Bhaktanukampadivigram Bhoi Ishavataram Paramashtaridam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Navamaha Jathayagne Daika Shakti Ramakrishna Ja Sarva Surupantang Saradang Paramamaham. As the burning power exists in fire and is identical with the fire, so Sarada Devi exists in Sri Ramakrishna. And Jananing Saradang Deving Ramakrishna Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Chitta Pranamami Muhun Muhu. My salutation to Sri Ramakrishna and Divine Mother Sarada Devi again and again. Thank you very much.